The median sales price has just hit $355,000, but that's barely scratching the surface of what's happening in our neighborhoods, from Naples to Bonita Springs to Fort Myers to Lehigh. The inventory pictures are shifting. The days on market are telling us a completely different story than last month, and mortgage rates are creating opportunities that may not last longer. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's dive into the numbers that are shaping our markets right now. Let's start with the headline numbers that everyone wants to know about: pricing. The median sales price is at $350,000 for the week ending in May 24th, 2025, which represents essentially flat movement compared to the previous week. Now, before you think that means nothing, let me tell you why this stability is more significant than it appears on the surface. Now, this might sound concerning at first glance, but here's a context that changes everything. This price correction represents a healthy market calibration after the unprecedented appreciation we're experiencing during the pandemic years. Think about it this way: we're not seeing a market crash, we're seeing a market that's finding its equilibrium. The homes that are selling at $350,000 today are delivering incredible value compared to what buyers were paying for similar properties just last year. This is particularly true in areas like Gateway and Lehigh Acres, where that median price point can get you into a beautiful single-family home with modern amenities. What's really interesting is how this pricing trend is playing out differently across various communities. In the luxury markets of Naples and Sanibel, we're seeing much more price resilience, while the first-time buyer segments in Cape Coral and Fort Myers are experiencing the most significant adjustments. This creates a fascinating dynamic where move-up buyers have tremendous opportunities right now. The week-over-week stability may suggest that we may have found our new baseline. Sellers who are waiting for prices to return to 2022 levels need to understand that this current pricing environment represents the new reality. Smart sellers are recognizing this and pricing accordingly, which is why we're seeing more successful transactions in the current market conditions. Now let's talk about what's really driving buyer and seller behavior, inventory levels, and how long homes stay on the market. We currently have 29,954 active listings across Southwest Florida, which represents our available inventory pool. But here's the number that tells the real story. Homes are spending a median of 57 days on the market before going under contract. The 57-day figure represents a 13.6% decrease compared to last week, which means homes are currently selling faster than they were 7 days ago. This is a crucial indicator that smart buyers need to understand. When days on market start declining, it's typically signals that we're approaching a shift in market dynamics. But let's put this in perspective with our weekly inventory, which currently sits at 47.5 weeks. This number increased by 16.5% compared to last week, giving us a fascinating contradiction that reveals exactly what's happening in our market right now. Here's how to read these signals. We have plenty of overall inventory, which keeps price pressure in checks and give buyers options. However, the quality listings, the homes that are being priced right, staged well, and market effectively are now moving faster than the market average. This creates a two-tier market where exceptional properties sell quickly, while overpriced or poorly represented homes languish. For buyers, this means you have the luxury of choice, but when you find the right property, you need to move decisively. The days of leisurely 6 months home searches are behind us for quality properties. For sellers, this data should be a wake-up call about the importance of proper pricing and presentation. The market will reward you for getting these fundamentals right, but it will punish you severely for getting them wrong. The 29,954 active listings give buyers tremendous selection, but remember, not all inventory is created equal in today's market environment. Let's address the elephant in the room that's influencing every single transaction in our market: mortgage rates and what they mean for your purchasing power. For conventional loans on a single-family home and condos with loan amounts under $802,650, we're seeing a 30-year fixed rate at 6.625% with 0 points, translating to an APR of 6.683%. That payment works out to $640.31 per $100,000 borrowed. For our median sales price of $350,000 with a 20% down, you're looking at a monthly payment of approximately $1,793 just for principal and interest. Now here's where it gets interesting. FHA loans are coming in at 5.125% with 0 points, creating a 6.697% APR and a payment of $555.77 per $100,000. For first-time buyers who qualify for FHA financing, this represents significant monthly savings that can make home ownership accessible even in today's rate environment. For jumbo loans above $802,650, and we're seeing plenty of these in Naples, Sanibel, and waterfront communities, rates are sitting at 7% with 0 points. That's $665.30 payment per $100,000 borrowed, which means a $900,000 home purchase will carry a monthly payment of nearly $6,000 for principal and interest alone. What's particularly noteworthy is the spread we're seeing in adjustable rate mortgages. The 5-6 ARM products are coming in at 7% initially, but for qualified buyers who understand the risk and benefits, these can provide lower initial payments while positioning for potential rate decreases down the road. For sellers, these rate realities mean your buyer pool has shifted dramatically. The monthly payment impacts mean fewer qualified buyers at at every price point, which makes proper pricing absolutely critical. A buyer pre-approved for $400,000 2 years ago might only qualify for $320,000 in today's rate environment, and that buyer is their competition's target market too. Understanding these payment realities helps explain why our 94.8% list price received metric is so important. Properly priced homes are getting offers, but overpriced listings are sitting because buyers simply cannot qualify for inflated prices. This week, I want to spotlight what's happening here in Fort Myers, which some might consider the heart of Southwest Florida's real estate market and a perfect example of the dynamic shifts we're seeing across our region. Fort Myers is showing some fascinating metrics that differ from our overall Southwest Florida numbers. With a median sales price at $350,000, exactly matching our regional median, Fort Myers is demonstrating remarkable stability. But here's what's really interesting. We're seeing 114 closed sales this week, which represents a 9.6% increase in transaction volume. That tells us that buyers are actively engaging in Fort Myers market when they find the right opportunities. The story gets even more compelling when we look at the market timing. Fort Myers properties are spending a median of 59 days on market, which is actually 2 days longer than our Southwest Florida average of 57 days. However, this represents a dramatic 29.8% decrease from the previous week, indicating that the market is accelerating and properties are moving faster than they were just 7 days ago. What's particularly noteworthy is the active inventory situation. Fort Myers has 4,537 active listings, just down 2.3% from last week. This inventory decline, combined with the acceleration in days on market, suggests we're seeing a tightening market dynamic in the Fort Myers area specifically. The $216 price per square foot median sales price, down just 0.9% from the previous week, shows that Fort Myers continues to offer exceptional value compared to coastal communities like Naples or Sanibel. For buyers looking at the Fort Myers market, you're getting significantly more house for your money while still enjoying access to Southwest Florida's incredible lifestyle amenities. Perhaps more telling is the new listing data. Only 140 new properties came to the market this week, down 31.7% from the previous week. This dramatic reduction in new inventory, combined with increased sell activity, creates a supply-demand dynamic that smart buyers and sellers need to understand. The Fort Myers market is tightening, and that trend is likely to continue through the summer months. For buyers considering Fort Myers, the current 59-day median market time won't last if inventory continues declining at this pace. Based on the data we're seeing and my daily experience in the field, several clear patterns are emerging that both buyers and sellers need to understand. First, the properties that are succeeding in today's market share 3 common characteristics. They're priced based on current market conditions rather than past peak values. They're properly staged and photographed, and they're being marketed by agents who understand the current buyer psychology. Our 361 closed sales for the week tells us that transactions are definitely happening, but they're happening for the right reasons and at the right prices. The days of buying anything just to get into the market are over. Today's buyers are educated, selective, and have options. For sellers, this means your pricing strategy cannot be based on what your neighbor's house sold for in 2022. It needs to be based on what buyers are actually paying today for comparable properties. The 94.8% list price received indicates that well-priced homes are getting strong offers, but overpriced listings are sitting and eventually selling for even less than if they had been priced correctly initially. Buyers have a tremendous opportunity right now, but success requires preparation and decisive action. Get pre-approved with a local lender who understands the Southwest Florida's market conditions. Work with an agent who can help you identify the best values before they hit the broader market. And when you find the right property, be prepared to move quickly, because while you have more choices than buyers did 2 years ago, the good properties still don't last long. The 47.5 weeks supply of inventory might suggest a slow market, but remember, that includes all the overpriced and poorly presented listings. The realistic inventory for quality properties is much tighter, which is why we're seeing that 57-day median days on market continuing to decline. The smart money is recognizing these patterns and acting accordingly, whether you're buying your first home, moving up, or making an investment purchase. Let's wrap up with key takeaways that you need to remember from this week's market analysis. Southwest Florida's real estate market is in a healthy transition phase that creates real opportunities for informed participants. Our $350,000 median sales price reflects a market that's found its footing after the unprecedented volatility of recent years. The combination of 29,954 active listings, 57 days median market time, and 94.8% of list price received tells us that buyers have good selection and negotiating power, while properly priced homes are still commanding strong offers. This is not a distressed market. It's a normalized market that rewards preparation and realistic expectations. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer taking advantage of reduced competition, a move-up buyer capitalizing on favorable pricing, or a seller who understands current market dynamics, the opportunities are there for those who approach the market with the right information and strategy. I hope this week's analysis helped you make more informed decisions about your real estate goals. Remember that these market conditions never last, they never do, so making the decisions now is important to act accordingly. If you found this week's market update valuable, please hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you never miss our weekly market updates. Also, I have a buyer's guide down in the description below that'll break down the exact steps to the home buying process. You can download this free guide by using the link down in the description below. Drop a comment if you have any questions or concerns about what you saw today, and let me know what kind of market topics you guys would like me to cover in the upcoming Southwest Florida's weekend market update videos. Until next week, this is your real estate expert helping you make smart real estate decisions in Southwest Florida. Thank you for watching.